Hello and welcome. So I am going to take a look at the Times Quick Cryptic Crossword, and this is being published on Saturday the 16th of August 2025. So our setter today is Rongo, and that's a name I have seen in the past quite a lot, but I know we don't see them very often. And looking back in my records, we had a puzzle earlier this year from them, only one so far, which took me 29 minutes. And a quick look at the grid of that. Most of the words, yeah, they weren't obvious words, but they were. I'd know them all, apart from maybe main top, which I think is part of a boat, part of a sail or something. But the rest were all pretty standard words. There was Igor as well, which I think was clued as being some kind of Eastern European name at the time, and angelic. And then we had one puzzle last year from Rongo, which was a 16-minute. So I'm not sure what this is going to go like, but I think in my brain I'm thinking Rongo's a little bit difficult, which is why I left it at 7 a.m. this morning, and I'm back now at lunchtime to have a go at it. Anyway, I think the best way to find out whether it's hard or easy is just to reset the timer and crack on. The two consuming starter of rich soup, duo pair soup, the two. Don't know. Work relaxed an ancient Macedonian hero, that's Alexander the Great. Yeah, looks like an anagram, doesn't it? Oh, relaxed and roof support with no front behind. Roof support tile. Support with no front behind. Strut. No front behind. Rear. Okay. Withdrawing air to help is for identification. Withdrawing air to help is for identification of a problem. Troubleshoot. Root cause. Woman never undressed. That's Eve, isn't it? Hard time catching river snake in floating home. Gosh, hard time, hard age. H river snake, radder, rasp. Hard time would be a yeah, don't know. But floating home, you'd think would be a barge, wouldn't you? Unless it's an anagram of floating home. Whew. Could be CR. Actually, it could be sea for catching. Not really cool. What would that be? Perhaps did butterfly scheme initially drain fen area? Marshland. Why would that be marshland? Perhaps did butterfly scheme initially drain fen area? Marshland. Don't know. Can't. Well, it could be plan. Yeah, it could be planned. What would that be? Planned. A plan is a scheme. Drain for D. Swampland then. Perhaps butterfly. Did butterfly swam? Yes. Okay. Swampland. There we go. How did that come together? Back equality in declamatory strong style. I would have thought that's a hidden word backwards. Equality in declamatory. Don't know what that means. Which makes me think it's a hidden word backwards. But back equality. Not sure. Requirement to fix rot in rice. Rot in rice is 9 letters. Rot in rice in don't know. Spirit of good party goer. I thought that's G, and then party goer would be a raver. That doesn't work. Spirit of good party goer. Left the cumin out when the midday meal is taken. Well, you take your midday meal at noon. 1 p.m. 1 o'clock. Left the cumin out. Left is L. Port. I thought it was L. Okay, so I think that's probably it's just lunchtime, isn't it? Just an anagram of lunchtime. Very good. Hazardous lead-in for Radio 1 broadcaster. What is going on there? Radio 1 broadcaster. Hazardous lead-in. Radio 1 broadcaster. Is that a specific name, or is that just because I've got no idea who's on Radio 1 these days? If it is, I can't believe it would be. That's going to be a beagle, isn't it? British bird. See that one? Classic clue. Very old tailor in orange coat. Very old would be the orange. Very old. Ancient. Old tailor, sewer. Can't be a sewer there. It'll be so there, wouldn't it? It's going to be something like octogenarian, isn't it, actually? Genarian. That's just anagram, is it? Tailor in orange coat. I think that's octogenarian with an anagram, so I ought to octogenarian. I'm going to have to take out the letters again, check out what's going on. So we've got orange, which is O-R-A-A-N-G-E there. And then we got in is at the bottom, and coat. Yeah, now I've got to remember how to spell that. Octogenarian. Whew, okay, stern on vessel in difficulty. Stern on vessel. I think that's stern as in being a bit grim or whatever. On a vessel in difficulty. Not sure. Come back to that one. Introduction to Duke, Earl, Judge and Viscount. Use sense of deja vu. Very nice. Nice clue. Are we going for a pangram here with that J? Don't think so, but never know. New method to lift something boring. New method to lift is something boring. Is that just going to be a drill? New method. Not sure, right? Way. Name missing from gift. Present. Arranged in advance. Is present and preset. Nice. Rude. Too rude. I cuss terribly. You'd think that's an anagram. Too rude. I cuss. Which is discourteous. I think that is. Discourteous. Let's hope I've spelled that correct. Got a couple of U's. Yeah, let's go with that. Put at risk. Stop rage. Endangered. End anger. Yeah, good old end anger. Like that one. Tool for cutting diseased edges of lucerne. Cutting diseased. Tool for cutting is a saw. Excuse me. What's that going to be? A tool for cutting diseased is. Don't know. A liberal exists. They say some alibi, surely. Alibi, yeah, alibis. Very nice. Circle among favourite railway lines. You'd think that's probably RY there. Lines would be. Favourite would be pet. Or propetory. Poetry, nice, very nice. Lovely. Can I spell poetry? No, I can't. Very nice apart from whether what this is going to be. Back equally in. Is that just rap? Back equality. Par. Yeah, I think so. That's rap, isn't it? Repeat fifth word of radio series. Is that Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta Echo? Yep, Radio Bravo, okay. Oh, we're there. We've done all of them. The two consuming a starter rich soup, sorry. The two consuming starter rich is a broth, isn't it? Ah, both. Nice. What have we got here? Stern on vehicle. Not sure. Not another boat part. Roof support. Attic. Is it a attic with no front behind? Lattice. If that was attic, and I'm not entirely sure it is, but if it was, let's have a look at this. Withdrawing aid to help is for identification of that's diagnosis, and now that's withdrawing aid. No cis or no C's. Withdrawing air to help. Is air sun? Aid to help is for diagnosis. What's going on there? Withdrawing air to help. Air is a song. Is. There we are. Diagnosis. Okay. I don't think that can be HACD though, can it? Hand. Stern on vehicle. Hard. That's a rafter and after, isn't it? Behind is after. Yep. Hard ship, I suppose. Yep. Difficulty on vessel. Yep. What's this? The Huguenots? Hard. Okay, H. Time. Catching river snake in floating home. Houseboat. Ah, houseboat. I'll work out why that is in a minute. This one was nasty, wasn't it? New method to fill something boring. N, and then I think method to lift. Cool, something boring. That could be anything. Spirit of good party goer. Go. Spirit is ghost, host. Yep. This one has just lead in for radio. R. Broadcaster. Radio 1. Hazardous. Rusty. Risky. Why is that risky? Radio 1 Sky, I suppose. Ah, very nice. Like it. Like what you've done there. Requirement to fix rot. Oh gosh, this anagram. Oh, that's my thing that I can't think of. Requirement to fix rot in rice. Got rid of an in. Hang on. I've got 2 IE. I've got, yeah, rot in rice. I'm going to have to write that down because I'm going to get that. Rot in rice. And I've got rid of IE, IN. What am I after? I'm after a requirement which is probably a shun, which leaves me RO. If that's a shun at the end, as I think it is, that'll be Cryrishan. CRR. Criterion. Okay, it's not a shun. Criterion. That makes sense. So this must be a sickle because it was unwell, wasn't it? It was diseased. Yep, sick. Which just leaves me that one. Oh gosh, what is that going to be? New method to lift something boring. What's boring? N for new, I think. Method to lift. Way. Yawn, I think. Way. Yeah, yawn. Go with it. Boom. Yes, 1052. Fantastic. Great puzzle from one of the sets we don't see. Well, I think it's great because I don't see Rongo often enough, and I had that little bit of fear that it might not be easy, but also actually some really good clues in there. And done in a nice decent time. So let's go through those clues. Just a quick look, see if there's got a J and a Y, we've got a K. Well, I don't think we've got a pangram there, because I can't see, off the top of my head, I can't see a Z or an X. Let's go through. Right. The 2 is both. Consuming the start of rich is the R from rich, which gives you a broth, which is a type of soup. We've got work is your anagram indicator that relaxed An is an anagram of Alexander, and ancient Macedonian hero. Well, Alexander the Great came from Macedonia. A roof support is a rafter, but it's got no front, so it becomes an after, and behind is after. Right, withdrawing air to help, so we've got a song aid. So yeah, song aid going backwards, that's withdrawing. Song aid, and then we've got is on the end from the clue, and identification of a problem is diagnosis. Woman is Eve. Undressed, take the word never, undress it, so take the N and the R off, it gives you Eve, hidden word. Is that a hidden word indicator? I don't know if that's technically a hidden word or not. I suppose it is, probably. Hard is H. Catching the river, I guess, which is the river Ouse. A boa is a snake. Time, hard time. So HT, catching, ooze, boa. A floating home is a houseboat. Perhaps did butterfly, so you maybe swam butterfly stroke. A scheme is a plan, and initially D for drain. And Fenland area is a swampland. Back equality, so equality is par. You're on a par with someone, equality. So put that backwards, gives you rap coming forwards, which is a declamatory song style. I do not know what declamatory means, but I know that rap music is a type of singing song, or whatever. A requirement is a criterion. What's one of the criterion? So that's the singular of criteria, I suppose, when I think about it, because criteria is normally multiple, isn't it? I think. So requirement is a singular. To fix is your anagram indicator that rot in rice is an anagram of criterion. The spirit is a ghost. We've got a good, and then a party giver is a host. I went party giver, didn't I, when I read that? But it's party giver. So yeah, G host. Good stuff. Great anagram here. So L for left, and then the cumin. It's the anagram material that makes up lunchtime. Out is your anagram indicator, and lunchtime is when the midday meal is taken. Hazardous is risky. Lead in for hazardous lead in for Radio 1 broadcast. So we've got R1 for Radio 1. Okay, lead in it for radio is the R. We've got 1 for I, and broadcaster is Sky. We need that lead in for radio because it's not a standard abbreviation. Although Radio 1 did used to refer to themselves as R1. But anyway, we've got another. I mean, this is probably as classic a chestnut as you'll ever see. The British bird dog. So British, B for British, and a bird is an eagle, which gives you a beagle, which is a dog. I've seen that many times. Very old is octogenarian, which is an anagram, I think, of in orange coat, and Taylor is your anagram indicator. Stern on vessel. Well, stern is hard. I'm being stern, I'm being hard about that. On a vessel is a ship, which gives you hardship, which is difficulty. The introductions to Duke, Earl, Judge and Viscount Hughes. Wow, so those 6 words, very good, give you déjà vu, which is the sense of repetition. Nice, very nice clue. N for new, and then a method is a way. Lift that up gives you yawn coming downwards, which is something boring. Name is the letter N, missing from a gift. So a gift is present. Take the N out, gives you preset, which is something that's being arranged in advance. To be rude is to be discourteous. That's your definition. And discourteous is an anagram of too rude, I cuss. Terribly is your anagram indicator. If you put something at risk, then you endanger it. And to stop rage is to end anger. The tool for cutting is the sickle, and diseased is sick, and edges of Lucerne are the LE, the L and the E from Lucerne. A is in the clue. Lib for liberal. Exist is, and they say someone's elsewhere. Well, alibi say that. A circle is an O, going into among favourite, which is pet. And RY for railway is a bit of a standard abbreviation, which gives you poetry, which are lines. Fantastic, great surfaces and things in this. And finally, repeat the 5th word of radio series. So, repeat is to echo, and then the 5th word of the radio series, as I gave you earlier, I refer to it as NATO phonetic alphabet, which is Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta Echo, Foxtrot Golf, etc. So there we go, all done. 10:52. Fantastic, lovely puzzle. Really, some really good surfaces in there and clever constructions. While most of it actually kind of comes together and just classic words like favourite for pet, bit of the NATO phonetic alphabet, method, way, and so on. So there you go. Thanks to Rongo for that one.